family ministry is thought of in many different ways in many different areas. But when we talk about family ministry at Bel-Aire Baptist Church, our purpose and plan is to put parents back as the primary disciple makers of the children, and for the church to become the second voice to what's already going on at home. We have to put parents back as the primary disciple makers first, because that's what God intended. Let me read to you from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 7. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I am commanding you today shall be on your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your sons, and you shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. And so you can see where God has intended for parents to be the primary disciple makers, because they're supposed to be teaching their kids as they walk by the way, as they lie down, as they rise up. But 50 or 60 years ago, we had this new concept in church where we had specialized ministers. And so you would have a youth pastor now. And because of that, parents a lot of times relied on the youth pastor to be that primary disciple maker. And that's never what God intended. And a lot of times with parents nowadays as well, parents were never shown how to be the primary disciple maker. So a lot of times they say, well, I'm just not sure what to do, or it's too hard to do these things. And because of that, we've just allowed the church to do it. And so we need to give that back to the parents, because that's what God intended, and it is their primary responsibility as parents to disciple their children. Yeah, there are a few other things that hinder parents from being primary disciple makers. I think one is we're just too busy. We try to put our kids in everything that comes along their way, if it's sports or if it's dance or music, and we want them to be so well-rounded. We want them to do so many different things. We forget the aspect of spirituality, and for them to teach their children biblically and make sure that's their priorities. A lot of times we think, well, that can just wait. And so we definitely need to combat that. We do have a plan. I think the first thing we have to do, though, we have to help parents understand and for them to buy into the fact that they have to be primary disciple makers. That's our first step. Our second step would be to help them grasp a vision of what does family ministry look like and how is it going to happen in their house. And the third would be the third one is to implement a plan of spiritual markers that we've set up. We take kids through 7 different aspects from the time they're born to the time they graduate high school. The vision would be threefold. One, family internal. And family internal basically is having family faith talks, which is devotion time at the house. Family faith walks, where parents are ready to always engage their students with the gospel, with biblical truth, as they just do everyday life together. And then you would have spiritual markers, which again sets up kids to really hit certain areas as they grow up. If it's purity, if it's learn how to do hard things, learn how to read the Bible, we help kids along that path. The second thing I think that we have to do is have family external. And family external basically is we talk to people outside of our home about the things that we're learning, either through our spiritual markers, through our family faith talks, through our family faith walks, just so we can build relationships and share the gospel to other people. And third, we will have family extended, which is just the church. The church is the extended family of believers. And so with the extended family, we want the church to come alongside and encourage, to help train, and to celebrate the things that are going on in the home that are building spiritual giants, that are building believers who just are sold out for Christ. This is the plan. We want to help parents with the 7 spiritual markers that's been set up. And these are the 7 spiritual markers: the child dedication, spiritual disciplines, faith in Christ, do hard things, purity, real world training, and then graduation, the real world. So I pray you join us if we make disciples through our family ministry.